So chapter 6 of Black Myth Wukong is the most confusing chapter to find all the hidden items and all hidden bosses that you need. Talk about an open world experience, chapter 6 really presses those boundaries and has some really cool hidden items for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you everything the easiest way possible, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So in this video, because everything is so open world and there's a ton of space in chapter 6, I'm gonna try to start as many routes as possible from one particular shrine, which we'll go over in just a minute. I'm also not going to cover bosses that may be directly in your path, so if you need help with those, go ahead and leave a comment down below so I can answer those questions. So the first secret boss I'm going to show you is going to take the longest to do, not because of his massive size, but because you need to go back through a few chapters in order to make sure that you've grabbed a few items so that he will even be able to be summoned in the first place. So in order to do that, we need to go all the way back to chapter 1 to the Forest of Wolves Front Hill Shrine. You're going to follow the route that I'm going to show you here, and at the beginning of the game, you may have been exploring and found this small head near a waterfall. There should be a little monkey next to it and he will run away, but if that cutscene does not play, go up, make sure you got the item from the head, and then you can move on. Now the next place we need to head is going to be the Rock Rest Flat in chapter 2. You're going to follow the route that I'm showing you here in order for you to summon a secret boss that's going to be located right here in this location. This is going to be the end of getting all 6 of the Buddha heads in this area, and I won't go over that in this particular video, but we do have a video for chapter 2 that's going to go over all of that, so go ahead and watch that. I'll leave it down in the description below. Next up, you're going to head to the Mindfulness Cliff in chapter 4, and you're going to follow the route that I'm going to show you. It's pretty much a straight shot after you jump down this little bridge here onto this platform, and then you can run all the way through the tunnel, and eventually you're going to come out where there is a monkey and another little head. Go ahead and grab that, and you will find for yourself the Skata of Thought, the third of the key items that you need. I went ahead and grabbed the fiery gourd from that chest, but then as you go up the stairs, a cutscene is going to play. The monkey will jump away, and you can just run up to the head and grab this item. Next up in chapter 4, you're going to head to the Webbed Hollow Purifying Spring Shrine and follow the very short route through a pool of water until you see the last head sitting between a few egg sacs. Once again, if you haven't been here already, there should be a small monkey there that's going to bound away after a little cutscene plays, but then you can run up and grab this final part. Now, once you have all 4 Skatas, we're then going to make our way back into chapter 6, where we will spend the remainder of this video. You are going to be heading to the Verdant Path Shrine, and because we now have a flying Nimbus, we're going to be following the route I'm showing you. It is a pretty lengthy route, but I'm going to speed this up for you for your convenience until you get to an area that is a massive open area. And if anybody has ever played a Souls-like game before, you know that any massive open area means there is a boss fight. Now, don't come in here super high up into the air, or when the boss roars, he's going to knock you off your Nimbus, fall to the ground, and you'll take a massive amount of fall damage. So when you come in, stay close to the ground in order not to take that damage. If you do not have all 4 of these items, this boss will not be here, so it is imperative that you get all 4 and follow the different routes that I showed you in order for him to even spawn. He's not difficult at all, contrary to his size. You just need to wait for him to slam his fist down on the ground and hold it there, and there's going to be these blue crystals that you need to go up to and smash. They will do a massive amount of damage to him, and it shouldn't take you too long. And after you kill him, he'll just be laying there and you can jump up onto his body. Once you get to a certain point on his body, a cutscene is going to play, and the monkey who you've been following is going to give you a final Skata. Take it back to the Zen village, where you can go back to the fox who's been giving you the pills to upgrade your health, and then he will offer you a different medicine to make. This final medicine is going to allow you to raise your focus, health, and mana, so it's definitely worth snagging. Next up, we're going to get some optional side bosses out of the way, and the first is going to be Loong of the Wave. You're going to start here at the Rhino Watch Slope, and you're going to follow the route that I'm showing you here, pretty much staying on the mountain ridge until you go over the mountains and get to a giant pool of water. Go to the water and dismount your cloud, and then you will find yourself attacked by this boss. He's not crazy hard, but he is a little bit of a challenge, and after you defeat him, you're going to be getting a Curios extra defense in water. This may seem incredibly niche, but there are a few bosses in water within this area, so I used it, and it was definitely worth it. Next up, you're going to be returning to the Rhino Watch Slope Shrine, and you're going to go over the mountain to the right, and you're going to see a giant open dirt area. This is where you are going to fight the final frog boss, who's going to allow you to get one of the best spirits in the game after his defeat. This is Baw Baw, and he has the ability to shapeshift into different elements in order to make his fight very difficult. I had a little bit of a hard time on him doing it 2 to 3 times, but after you defeat him, he's going to drop for you the Celestial Birthstone Fragment, which is going to allow you to ignore the enemy's 4 Bane's resistance, and you're also going to get the very last Tadpole's item. These are the items that you're going to use to cultivate the frog spirit in order for it to be an absolutely overpowered powerhouse. You'll then return again to the Rhino Watch slope, where we are going to go find the Poison Chief. You're going to follow the route that I'm showing you here, and I believe there are a few separate spawn points for this particular boss. However, once you kill him, he is only going to drop you materials, nothing crazy of note. All you need to do in this fight is avoid the poison balls he puts on the ground, which will do a crazy amount of damage to you, but after you defeat him, gather your materials and we can get on to the next boss. Returning yet again to the Rhino Watch slope, we're going to go fight what is possibly the obvious boss in the area, however, in my opinion, the most challenging optional boss here. This is going to be the Son of Stone boss, who you can clearly see while you're flying around, sitting on the side of the cliff. This boss is deceptively hard and has a lot of electricity attacks that can 1- and 2-shot you if you are not careful, so make sure you do this fight with caution, blasting all of your cooldowns at the beginning of the fight. Now, sadly, for as difficult as this fight was for me, once again, you're only getting some materials from this boss, so if you don't want to kill him for the materials, you can definitely skip it. Now, for one last time, we're going to go to the Rhino Watch Slope Shrine, and you're going to follow the route onto the left side of the mountain ridge until you see a really massive pool of water. Within this water is going to be a bubbling animation. You need to go up to that animation and you're going to be fighting the Waterwood Beast. He is very susceptible to fire. I was doing a ton of damage to him when I was using fire, so definitely try to do some of that, but he is not a hard boss. You just have to watch out for the little pools of water that are going to slow you down within the major pool, and after you kill him, you're going to once again receive some crafting materials. And now that we're done doing the optional bosses within this area, I want to show you an armor set that was initially supposed to be Wukong's regular armor for the storyline. However, the team didn't enjoy it as much as the current one. However, they still wanted it to be in the game somehow. So this is the Fortune Favor armor, and it's hidden in probably the last spot you would look. Starting from the Verdant Path Shrine, you're going to turn around and mount your Nimbus. You're then going to go directly in front of you onto the little plateau and stop right when you get over the gray rocks on the ground. You'll then jump off and there's going to be a chest right there, and inside of that chest is all the pieces of this armor set. The last boss in this area you need to kill is not an optional boss, but he can be very confusing to figure out. It's the giant grasshopper that jumps all over the ground, and there is a very specific way you are supposed to do this. You are supposed to ride your cloud up onto his back and then jump off, and you will receive a prompt to grab the antenna. You are going to need over 300 stamina in order to pull this off. If you don't have any, you can go back to the fox in the Zen village and you can get him to redistribute some of your stats, but if you do have that, I also suggest you get some hardcore fire resistance. The Fireproof Mantle should be all you need, and you get this in Chapter 1. I would hope you have gotten it, but I will leave it down in the description below if you need to go find it. The other thing you need to do is, once you receive the prompt to press the button to hold on to his antenna, you need to just press the button once and hold it down. Hold it down the entire ride until the 3 jumps are over. Once the 3 jumps are over, you will let go of the antenna, and then you'll have the option to put on your Fireproof Mantle. Once you've done that, you can then grab a hold of the antenna again, holding the button down, and you'll sit there and you'll maintain the burn until you get a cutscene. That cutscene is going to end with you getting the next piece of Wukong's armor, which is going to be the Golden Fang-tailed Crown. Now guys, that is going to be it for all the secrets in Chapter 6. I don't believe I missed any, but if I did, definitely leave them down in the comments below, help the community out, and share that wealth of knowledge so that we can all benefit from it. I appreciate you guys watching until the end of the video. If you found value from this video, make sure to subscribe on your way out. I would appreciate it a ton. Also, we do have a Patreon, which I'm going to link down in the description below as well, and a ton of free stuff is coming there. You don't have to pay for anything at all. I'm just going to be doing a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff on Patreon. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much once again, and until next time, stay safe, enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next one.